Good evening, everybody. I hope you have all had a wonderful day. Today's obviously going to be another market review of what has occurred in the S&P 500 futures contracts, aka SPY, however you want to look at it. Going to be looking at basically the same thing. We're going to start from top down, largest time frame, move on the way all the way down to the 30 minute. We're going to be looking at obviously right now the monthly, still in a balance, nothing's changed. Inside of last month's range, still have not taken out last month's low. So still just chopping around inside the monthly balance. We go to our weekly. Weekly is still doing the exact same thing, chopping around inside of last month's balance, but we also have a weekly balance that we are chopping around in as well. You can see that right here. We are in a 3-week balance. 3-week balance also happens to be our multi-day balance as well. So we're just chopping around inside of this channel. We're using that weekly high, that weekly low. Just chopping around inside this channel right now. Not a lot going on so far. Coming into Friday, we right now are looking to having a failed attempt at an inside week up. As far as the weekly goes, let's look at the daily. The daily is looking about the same, right? We're just chopping around inside that weekly channel. Also, our daily balance, aka the daily channel. Look at it or address it. We're just chopping around inside this range. Today was a failed attempt at an inside day down. Even though we closed at our lows, I do believe, below previous day's low. I still want to say it's a failed attempt at an inside day down. So basically, whenever you have an inside day up or down, you kind of want to see you want to see if there's any type of continuation, monitor it for continuation or lack of continuation. And today was a pretty big failure on the sellers portion. They could have gotten this thing rolling to the downside, but they chose not to, as volume was pretty light. And so far this year, it is the smallest range of the year. Even though we are only 3 days into the year, it is the smallest range of the year. So a failed attempt at an inside day down, not much continuation to the downside, and that's partially due to data coming out. I can't remember exactly what data came out, and then some Fed member speaking at like 1:30 today kind of caused the market to go into hissy, and I'll show you that here on the 30-minute time frame. So monthly, weekly, daily, all three time frames, and a balance. Let's go into today's price action. So I'm not going to review all my trades. I did well pretty much throughout the entire day. I didn't start trading until D period, as there really wasn't much for me to trade. Didn't know which way the market wanted to attempt to go. I didn't trade anything until D period. And D, E, and F period was an absolute freaking battle. Actually, it was more so D and E period. These two time frames was an absolute battle for me, as I did not um, trade them very well. I got chopped up a lot trying to short near the bottom, um, and obviously the play was to rotational side, and I struggle a lot on rotational days as it is a lot tougher to read, especially when the market isn't going to be accommodating, meaning in the sense that you know it's a pretty tight range. You don't know if it's going to go up or down. I'll show you that here on the smaller time frame, the 5 minute, how it looked. But for now, let's go over what occurred just in today's price action. So we opened up an A period inside previous day's range, near that afternoon pullback low. Like I said, it wasn't a textbook, but you wanted to see if we got down to it, if we would hold it, if demand was still there. Clearly, it wasn't, as we liquidated straight through it all the way down, taking out the low of day from yesterday. So we took out that afternoon pullback low, and then we took out that low of day from yesterday. Now I'm gonna keep that low of day marked because we took it out, right? So we had an inside day down starting in A period. We should have easily gone trend if sellers were serious and gotten down to this other low, daily low down here at 38.1450. We did not get that. C period, we, we battled. Actually, B period was kind of nuts because we opened and pushed up higher, got above the opening, got above A's high, but was poor against it. We had a poor high up here in A and B, meaning supply shut off here, or yeah, demand shut off, supply took over, and we began to sell back down. C period, D period, we didn't do much. Finally, in D period, we took out the day's low, took out the initial balance low. So sellers are starting to get more things in their favor. That's where I began to get trapped up because I was expecting us to push this thing lower and go and get this daily low. I got short right before we took out the daily low. Made a couple points on it, nothing big. And then as we pushed up again, I tried to get short again. Didn't happen because I wanted to see the daily low. And then E period, I believe, is what stopped me out of the trade. A pretty rotational day as far as the day goes. Um, then, as you can see here in H period, we had a pretty emotional candle, as that's when the Fed speaker came out and began talking about inflation, running his mouth, talking about crap that we don't already know, and that the market just wants to once these algos hear or see something in their programming, it just kind of sends the market into a hissy fit. I got caught in a short position in H period. Trying to remember where I was shorting. Oh, I shorted right before we got to C's high, got stopped out, waited a minute, and then I put on a heavy size up here around the 47, 48 area and let this thing come in. And when it did, it came back in near VWAP. I took it off 38, and then it pushed back up again in I period. Once I period couldn't get much further above H, and it came back in, I reshorted 48, 47 on the way down, and then took it off 33s, and then let this thing push back down to 33, and I got out for a really good trade on that end. Overall today, I made around $408 on the trade on the day. Really good day for me. This whole week's been a solid week to start the year. Cannot complain. Now the reason I wanted to keep this daily low in, as you can see early on, if you just pay attention to the right hand, nothing else, we battled it all day in C, we battled it in D, E, F, G, uh, trying to get above that daily low. We didn't get above it until H period, I, J, K, L, and then we closed at the day's low below it. So a lot of chop, a lot of mess, not really a lot to lean on today. We go out with today's high, today's low, and then I believe a 10 wide point of control. I'll have to count here. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Either 10 point. I want to say it's a 10 point of control. 10 wide point of control. We're going to say at B's low. 10 wide point of control at B's low. So POC, point of control, mean, however you look at it, right there at B's low. So just basically meaning we rotated back and forth through that area 10 time frames. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 time frames we traded back and forth through this 38, 31, 25 area. And as you can see, there's a lot of volume that was packed into this area. So 10 wide. 10 wide. Roll. We have today's low. Right there at 2250. Low of day. We have today's high, 4 high. It's crazy. Even in K period when we popped up, we still could not take out the day's high. That just goes to show you how strong points of control can be. Because guess what? If you would have taken the short against the opening and the high of day, you know where your stop is at. Take the short against it. Great risk reward because this thing rolls over and then comes all the way back down to that point of control. Even if you were expected to get to ease high to get 10 wide, I mean that's still you're shorting up here at 52s and your out is 36. I mean, you're looking at 20 plus points. And then if you're looking for it to rotate down even further, which I highly doubt anybody's catching full moves like that. But if you are somebody that looks to take longer intraday trades, that was a great risk reward to come down to the mean or where this high volume area was. Beautiful trade there for anybody that did take it. But let's go ahead and mark our high up here. High of day. All right. So there's that. So since today was a failed attempt at an inside day down, I'm not really looking for much tomorrow. I believe we do have another set of data coming out tomorrow. I think it is jobs numbers. I'm not quite sure. But I know there's some data coming out tomorrow. So early on, just remember you don't have to take a trade if you're looking once the market opens. Wait for that number to come out. See what the algos do, let it calm down, and then try to make the more clear trade, what's more probabilistic to happen. So tomorrow, if we open up inside today's range, it'd be pretty impressive because it was a tight range. But if we do, we open up below our 10 wide point of control, guess what? First upside destination is that 10 wide point of control, 38, 31, 25. If we don't take out tomorrow's low, then you should trade back into that 38, 31, 25 area and look to take out today's high at 38, 53, 50. If we take that out, then you don't have anything until you get up to 38, 96, 25, high of day from yesterday. Now, if we take out today's low of day, then you should have no issue getting 38, 14, 50, the low of day from the 3rd, and then getting that low of day 38, 04, 50 back from the 28th of December last year, and then go and test our balance low. Either way, you look at it, there's a lot of steam being built up inside of this pot. That's got to be let out at some point. The question is it going to be to the upside after the numbers tomorrow or to the downside after the numbers? If we remain inside, then it's going to be one heck of a year because you're going to have your hard hats on. We're going to learn how to trade ranges pretty solidly. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you all have a wonderful day. We'll catch you guys in the next one.